Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Apex E-Series Showdown here on VSRN. And tonight, you can see it already, we are at Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. Just one of the best tracks ever in NASCAR. I'm Eddie Smith, and of course, I got Dakota Wilson in the booth with me tonight. Dakota, how you feeling tonight?
Oh, man, I wasn't going to miss this for the world, you know. It's a sort of a home race for me. I'm only about 45 minutes from the track, so anytime I get a chance to see a race at Bristol, you know I'm going to be there.
Well, it's always a blast, especially in these trucks, and tonight we are right into the thick of the playoffs. We're into the next round, the round of 8. So let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff bracket here, and you see Chris Bedwell, Garrett Kinder, Tracy Parsons, Kip Easley, Alan Nash, Charles Stevens Jr., Daniel Holcroft, and Dana Shepard taking the final spot in the top 8. And we're going to get down to the final 4 over the next few races, which are Bristol tonight, Talladega, and Homestead. Boy, what a crazy last 3 races to set the final 4, Dakota.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you got Bristol tonight. It's a half mile. You know, there ain't gonna be a straight body panel left on these trucks, and then you go to Talladega next week. You know, that's a you roll the dice, and if you see who's on the lucky end of winning that thing, or who's gonna take them home on a tow truck.
Yeah, and then the Homestead, just a blast to race there. So great last 3 races to set this thing up, and we'll take a look at the points, the whole standings here, and you see the top 8, Chris Bedwell with those playoff points, so stage points, making a big deal as he has got 2 points over Garrett Kinder, which I feel like they have been some of the best all season long. Tracy Parsons has kind of had a pretty nice surge here at the end of the regular season, the start of the playoffs. And then we got a lot of guys, Alan Nash, Kip Easley, Charles Stevens, Daniel Holcroft, and Dana Shepard, who could rattle off some wins, sneak in there, and get in the Final 4. I think this is going to be the hardest Final 4 to call. So looking forward to it. But we've got some folks already qualifying already underway. But we've got guys on track getting ready to go. As we'll take a look at the standings as we currently Garrett Kinder on top with a 14.804. Right now we're watching Chris McLean, who is sitting, waiting patiently for the right moment to go out there, and you'll see some guys do that from time to time. Wait on the track temp to fall down just right to give you that extra little bit of grip. So we'll see if he gets on the track. Only 8 people have qualified so far out of the 15 or so that are going to be in this field. Still yet to qualify: Aaron Adcock, Chuck Phelps, Matt Rogers, Alan Smith, Mike Presley, and Ray Rogers, as Chris McLean starts to pull out, and he's going to go around and make his lap. Chris just missed the playoffs after having to miss a race in the round of 16, and so he's going to be fighting for that dub, get the trophy, and try to bring home some wins for Po-Man as he starts his first lap here, going right down to the bottom, and he's going to get loose. Oh, and going to get to the wall, so he's going to have to reset. As we'll go check out Aaron Adcock, who is on his first lap, comes across a 15.1. Going to be good enough for 8th place at the moment. We'll see if he can improve on that. Man, saw Chris McLean get extremely loose. Aaron Adcock, though, comes across the line and will not. Oh, he will improve. So he'll jump up to about 6th places as Chris McLean now out on the track. He's only going to have 1 lap to do it this time, as he has already used that first lap. And we saw him get so loose trying to get up and get the pole. He'll cross the line. 3rd place. Pretty quick lap there, Dakota. Only have that 1 to use. He did a good job recovering after that almost spin.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that was them cold tires. I think that made all the difference right there. You know, you gotta be careful going around this place, because you know when you're on cold tires, you know. That's exactly going to be the case. You got to let some heat get in the tires, and you know, so you don't end up in the wall and in the back of the pack.
Yeah, you definitely. Bristol in the trucks, I think it's pretty it's easy kind of to pass. You do have a couple lanes to use, but it can be just as hard as anywhere else just because of that bottom line can be tough. But the trucks actually do a really good job. So it wouldn't be the worst thing, but, man, it's so much easier when you start up near the front. Well, got about 2 minutes left in qualifying. Let's talk to a playoff driver or two since everybody's kind of done with their qualifying. And we're going to get Tracy Passons up here in the booth. Tracy, this is Eddie in Dakota. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Eddie?
Well, we are talking about you, man, because you have had a sort of a surge here at the end of the season. You've been fast all year, but have been just lights out here in the playoffs. And currently sitting fifth tonight. You're in the final, the championship 8. What do you need to do tonight to try to either get the win, lock yourself into the playoffs, so Talladega not a big deal, or at least get up towards the front where you can get in that Final Four?
I'm gonna try to race the track, Eddie, and try to just do the best I can and not really worried about winning. And if it presents itself, I'm gonna go up there and get it if I can.
Well, talk a little bit about the next talk about Bristol. What do you like about Bristol? Is this a track you enjoy racing at in the trucks, or is it one that you're kind of nervous about?
No, I like it. It's just real hard to keep from burning your tires up over driving it because you get to drive off the curve, not into it, and you got to just kind of pace yourself and let the others burn their stuff up. But that's the hardest part, is just trying to pace yourself, for a long run maybe.
Yeah, well, as the run goes on and those tires get wore out and everybody starts to kind of migrate up to the top, what's your strategy to make those passes in those moments where, the guy has used up his tires, but he's running that top line pretty good? What are you going to do to get around him?
I'm going to take the bottom, and if it's the last lap, I might give a little nudge. Come on.
All right, well, there you have it. Tracy Passon's going to roll off fifth tonight unless somebody throws down a little fast lap here at the end. But good luck to you, Tracy.
All right, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Tracy Passon seeming confident, ready to go. Sounds like he's ready to have fun. That's all the way we always want to see it happen. And I do want to talk to Dana Shepard, who was kind of got into that final 8 just at the last little bit with a great drive last week. Dana, this is Eddie and Dakota in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you guys. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, not too much left. We're about to start gridding up, but wanted to get your thoughts on making the final 8 and then what's your strategy tonight?
Yeah, pretty excited to make the 8. These are some pretty top-notch drivers here. So, to be in a class with guys like Bedwell, my teammate, I think tonight's going to be just about patience, not overdriving the car, and really trying to conserve tires, but not let these guys get too far ahead of me.
Well, that sounds like a plan. We'll go out there and get gridded up. Good luck tonight. Wish you well there, Dana.
Hey, thank you guys very much. Enjoy the show.
That's what I'm talking about. Enjoy the show, and maybe he'll be the show tonight. I'm looking forward to it. But look, get this off the screen so we can see the grid. And we're going to go ahead and knock out your grid here as your Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner is going to be, of course, Garrett Kinder starting on the front row. Just lays down a monster lap. And we'll jump right into the Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. And starting on the front row, of course, Garrett Kinder and then Chris Bedwell. No surprise there, Dakota. They are your top 2 in points. So starting on the front row, these guys doing exactly what they need to do. Starting in row number 2 is Charles Stevens and Chris McLean. Charles Stevens in the playoffs, Chris not, but he is still going to go out there and chase these wins. Row number 3, Tracy Passons, who we just talked to, along with Alan Nash, another, I think, a championship favorite, maybe a dark horse for sure. Starting in 7th is going to be Aaron Adcock. Starting in 8th is Dana Shepard. Starting in 9th, Daniel Holcroft, and 10th is Ray Rogers.
Yeah, starting 11th will be James Kunkel with Mike Presley beside him in 12th. Chuck Pegleg Phelps will be rolling off the P13 with Alan Smith beside him in 14th place. And it looks like Matt Rogers is going to round out the field in 15th.
Well, there you have it, your Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. And, man, we got to talk about our race analysis for tonight. What can we expect And Fix set up 200 laps tonight, so you're going to have plenty of time to be patient. One fast repair, that's going to be a big thing there, Dakota. You're going to have to hang on to that bad boy. You may need it, especially towards the end. And 75% fuel will snug these trucks up just a little bit, give them a little bit more stability off the exits of these corners, but won't be able to run near as long. Tell me a little bit about Bristol. Tell me what you're feeling about Bristol here tonight, Dakota.
Oh man, there's just something about walking into the last great Coliseum. It'll send chills right up your spine. You know, it's a half mile. It's high banked. It don't matter what kind of surface it is. If it's concrete, dirt, hell, you could throw gravel on it. I'm pretty sure it'd probably be the most entertaining race of the year. Well,
pace car getting ready to pull off onto pit road, and we are gonna get the round of 8. Green flag is out. Garrett Kinder, Chris Bedwell go roaring down into turn number 1, and I think that bottom line is going to be stout here early on as Garrett Kinder takes the early lead. Lap number 1 in the books, and already we got 2 wide. We got Chris Bedwell looking to make a pass for the lead. Here comes Charles Stevens Jr. trying to fill that gap on the outside. The 95 going to get a little bit loose there on the bottom, and he is going to fall into the clutches of that 88 machine. You know, talking about dark horses, I wonder if Charles Stevens Jr. not going to be one of those dark horses for this round of the playoffs. Would not surprise me one bit to see Charles Stevens in that Final Four going to Phoenix to race for a championship. He's currently working that high side. The bottom looking pretty strong here, but we see that all the time at Bristol. Starts out really strong, and then as the tires start to wear out, that top side becomes pretty dominant. And speaking of Charles Stevens Jr., I believe we got a few cams tonight. Oh, my goodness, they get a little bit of contact between Bedwell and Stevens. Dakota, they're already swapping paint, baby. That's what we love to see. That's why they got fenders on it.
Yeah, I know. You would have thought that this was lap 196 as hard as they's racing right now. You know, it's surprising to see, but, you know, in practice, Charles Stevens, he is actually one of the quickest trucks, so I think he's going to be a big player tonight if he can keep that truck clean.
Yeah, I mean, already making contact, but that's the beauty of racing fenders, man. Be able to go up there, make a little contact, though, as caution is out. And Matt Rogers backwards on the track. First caution of the night. We got 7 laps into this 200-lap race. Oh, he drives down to the inside right in front of the leaders and hits that inside wall and can't seem to get it off the wall, Dakota. He's kind of stuck. He's having to back up the Austin Power style here a little bit.
That's them sticky eye racing walls for you right there. You never know when they're going to just grab you and hold you.
Yeah, so goes around on lap 7, and we'll take a look at the Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind and see what happened to old Matt here. So he's side by side with Chuck Phelps, and coming off the corner, oh, just not clear, and just kind of clears himself across that front bumper of that Ford from Chuck Pegleg Phelps and goes around. What a great shot that is, as he comes to a stop and then drives back down the track. So early problems for Matt Rogers, but take a look at this paint scheme we got here tonight. Old Chuck got himself some new digs, and you know, he's not really a Ford guy there, Dakota, but you know, he's coming around. You can see that that marine scheme looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's definitely quite the scheme there. You know, Chuck's a service member, so applaud him for that. And you know, you can't deny them big 24-inch pythons. You know, that steering wheel's probably gonna be bent by the end of the night. That's
right. Yeah, he actually goes through at least 2 wheels during the race. He has to swap them out during like a caution or a pit stop because he actually bends the wheel and the grip comes off of it. It's just a mess. And so he's got a couple wheels on standby that he throws on there. And, you know, the force feedback is really in the arms. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really need that much force feedback. And he has to actually turn it up all the way just to give a little bit of resistance. He can barely feel it. So You know, a lot that he has to work through in these races. As he gives a little 2 fingers, a little salute as he's getting some TV time there. And a little cheese. I like it. Well, he's one of my favorite guys. He's one of my favorite racers, and he had a little contact early, but that's okay. He is currently running in that 13th position. He'll find his way to the front. I'm sure of it. But up front, it is side by side, Garrett Kidd and Charles Stevens Jr. Charles able to get that second place, and but Garrett Kidd able to hold on to the lead, although Chris Bedwell is really putting some pressure here early. So we'll see if he can do that again. He'll be down on the inside on this restart. But a little early for these cautions. It's going to be a long night. So I'm sure these guys will get it cleaned up, and we won't have an IRP repeat. "200 laps is a long time at Bristol, but they sure do click off quick, especially under green. Seems like you look up and already you're 100 laps in. It doesn't take long." Pace car pulls off. Garrett Kinder going to lead us down to the green flag, going to have control of this restart, so the battle will be back in second and third, and see if Bedwell can clear that 88 machine. As you see, the 5 gets right to the back bumper. Chris McLean all up in this mess as they jump right up to the outside. And Chris McLean going to get out to the outside. Charles Stevens actually going to go for the lead here. Gets a massive run off the corner, and Charles Stevens goes right up to the lead.
It looks like McLean's going to follow him. He's seen how much of a run that Charles was able to generate there, so he's going to be glued to him, trying to learn everything he can.
Yeah, you know, wondering when that top line would become sort of dominant and start to take over as the tires wear out. It looks like it's about 13 laps there, Dakota, because, man, Charles Stevens got up there and just rocketed around. Now, tell me if you got – what's the danger of running that top side? We talk about it almost every week where there is a top line. There's a couple danger spots, one of them being the tire wear. It just wears out the tires, heats up those right sides a lot quicker than if you're on the bottom. So if you're trying to save tire, the top can be a detriment. But what else is going to be the problem when you up there running that wall?
And if you get back on the throttle too soon and you bring that rear end around, it's going to tag the wall. And then, you know, Bristol's one of them self-cleaning racetracks. It's going to go straight to the bottom. So if you're running that bottom line and you see the guy above you getting the wall, you know he's coming down. So it's probably going to hurt both of y'all's nights.
Yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out. Charles really being aggressive. But here, it's once the tires start to wear, it can be so hard to pass on the bottom. So if you're out front, you got that track position like Stevens does. You know, it could be difficult to pass without somebody at least giving you the bumper, getting you kind of stuck in the wall. One thing we haven't really talked about with Bristol that I think a lot of people kind of just gloss over when they talk or think about Bristol is that the turns are just different. You know, it's hard to really visualize that. We'll actually go on board with Charles Stevens. And you can see one turn is tighter than the other. You'll see 3 and 4, you just don't have the same radius as 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is just a little bit longer, it feels like. I always get these confused, but I can't remember which one's longer or the other. We'll actually look at the track info. But you can see 3 and 4 is just a tighter corner than 1 and 2. Or 1 and 2 is a tighter corner than 3 and 4. Excuse me, I'm falling apart here. But those are different. And, you know, you're trying to get into a groove every run there, Dakota. And it's hard to do if you forget where you are on the track. Because if you make a mistake and you enter in the corner in turn 1 like you think you should in turn 3, you can really mess up that line. So it's important to remember that the turns are different.
Yeah, for sure. You know, with 1 and 2 being tighter, you know, you can't run it like you do in 3 and 4. And, you know, you'll see some guys be way better in 1 and 2 because they like the tight radius turns. And then you'll see some guys just blow them away in 3 and 4 because, you know, they like them long sweeping turns where they can get a lot of, you know, have a lot of momentum.
That's right. Well, Charles Stevens got the lead, but he's not really getting away. So it seems like he really pushed that truck to get out front, and I think that'll pay off for him Chris McLean is running that top side as well, but unfortunately he's second. So he has really nowhere to go. If he heats those tires up where he can't run the bottom like the 13 is, it could be trouble for the 5 as he can have trouble getting around that 88. I mean, if you go past somebody, most of the time, Dakota, you got to go where they ain't. Oh, the 5's going to get in the wall a little bit. You don't want to do that. Now the 13 to the inside. Chris McLean really working that top side, but the slide job for the 13 clears him without much issue. All of a sudden, one of your championship favorites is on the move, and him and Bedwell are both running that bottom line. So something to think about as you're starting to see the tires start to wear that bottom line. If you can save the tires, seems like it's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like Garrett Kenner got a pretty good run on Charles right there too.
Yeah, so the battle for the lead now heating up. That 13 definitely looks a lot faster. Last lap, he was about 2/10 faster there on the bottom, so. But you can see, even though he's faster, that top side is just really strong off the corner. As long as Charles doesn't make a mistake, it's going to take a while for that 13 to make that pass. And I highlight it almost every week, especially when we have a top line track, is you see the 13 actually going to run the middle here to try to get some position on that 88. But it's just so hard. The top line, you drive off in the corner, you keep the momentum up, you drive with a huge run off the corner. If you're on the bottom, though, you have to use the whole track. You got to come down from the top down to the bottom, and then you got to come off the corner and let the car. Oh my goodness, it's Chris McLean in the wall again. So he is really flirting with it, and already contact. Oh, and he's going to get into the wall again. That's gonna, if he keeps doing that, that's going to cause something to bend up that right front. And he is still struggling. You can see almost a 4-wheel slide into the corner there. Had to catch it. McLean already in trouble here on this first run. Up front, though, still a battle for the lead. The 13 looking to the inside, but you see off the corner here, he needs to use the whole track or he scrubs too much speed off to deal with that top line. So that's what Garrett is dealing with. He just needs to use that whole track right there on exit, and just not able to do that with Stevens on the outside. And then the run that you get off the top is just massive. But these boys are racing. I love to see it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the playoffs. You know, these guys aren't going to give an inch. It don't matter if you're at Bristol, if you're at Talladega. They're going to, they want all to maximize the points that they can. So I don't think this race for the lead is going to be over by a long shot. Well,
and Charles Stevens, one of those guys who can be very difficult to pass, just because he is sort of that Ryan Newman type, where it's like, hey, it's my job to fight for every position. It's your job to pass me. And everybody's got different styles, but Garrett Kendall can try to get the run on the exit of the corner, kind of running that middle line, actually make a little contact there on exit. We'll see if he can make this pass. Oh, my goodness. Not quite able to do it. Charles Stevens going to get in the wall, though. That's going to hurt his run off the corner. Boy, these boys are not playing around here. I don't know. Oh, no, they make contact. Caution is out. They make contact, and Chris Bedwell able to get around them. But we saw it coming. Boy, they were racing hard, and Charles Stevens gets a little bit loose and comes down and hits that right rear quarter, and that brings out the caution. Wow.
It don't look like either truck's hurt too bad, so they shouldn't have to use their fast repair right here. Just a little cosmetic damage, but they should be able to roll on.
Yeah, Charles Stevens gets into the wall just trying to fight for that position. And you see there, just comes off the wall, right hooks the 13 into it. And like you said, damage doesn't look too bad, but Bedwell able to get around him. However, iRacing gives the lead back to Charles Stevens Jr. Funny how that works. Garrett Kidder's back in third. He's going to come down pit road. I don't know. I wasn't given the tire sets and stuff, so I don't know how many sets of tires they have. And you know what? We're not an actual broadcasting company, so I can do this. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Dakota, and let you kind of run it for a second, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, we see Charles Stevens did keep the lead there with Bedwell in second. Tracy Passons moved up to third, and don't look now, but Ray Rogers, he's worked his way up to fourth place, and you know everybody at the front ain't gonna like to see that.
All right, we did a little investigating, and we have a stage break here on lap 50, so only 5 laps. Once we get back going, we'll have just a couple to the stage break, and then we have 4 total sets of tires. Dakota was able to get that information from pit road, and so some guys coming down pit road taking those tires pretty early. I think right before the stage break's not a bad deal. Garrett Kinder comes down and takes 4 tires. I don't know. What do you think about that tire situation? Dakota, would you come down now, or you try to save it for the stage break, or maybe save that extra set for the end of the race?
I'd probably save it, towards later in the race, because these boys they gotta have it of getting some long green flag runs, and if you don't have no tires at the end, you might as well just go ahead and park it in the pits.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Of course, we're gonna have a stage coming up, so I don't know if these guys will come down pit road on that stage break. But it seems like guys are thinking to pit, run a set at 50, another set at 100, another set at 150. That'll use all your tire sets. But if you stay out, there's always that risk that you go a lap down if you're not careful, depending on how different the tires really make a difference, and I think they will here at Bristol. So I'm not really sure what the different strategy is for, because we're going to go right back to a caution. So I would imagine these guys up front will definitely come down pit road. But if not, you take that gamble, you might find yourself with that extra set. Green flag is out, though. We're only going to have a few laps here. Those stage points going to be a big deal. So Charles Stevens wants to get up there and win this stage and maximize those points. Bedwell in second, Tracy Passons. So just really weird to see Garrett Kinder come down pit road and give up those stage points. But he's already up into the 5th position as we watch this battle for the lead, as Charles Stevens has it and Bedwell wants it. Yeah, he gets a nice little run off the corner. He's going to dive down to the inside. Oh, going to make maybe a little contact here. Too wide as they cross the line. And if they throw the caution there at the line, that's going to be, I don't know. If they score that at the line, Charles Stevens is the stage winner. However, if they score it at the time of caution, I think Bedwell is going to be your stage winner. But I'm not really sure how they handle that. But a nice little battle there for that stage. Well, I'd say I'm gonna say that Charles Stevens won the stage just because he crossed the line at 50. He is currently running in second, but we'll get him up in here after these pit stops and talk to him about his strategy for tonight as we watch pit road kind of be wide open. And of course Garrett Kinder, Aaron Adcock, Chris McLean all stay out as they pitted under that last caution. No surprise there. Only a few laps. I mean, we ran what, 2 or 3 laps there, Dakota. You think that's going to make a difference on them, just of the tires?
Nah, it shouldn't make too much of a difference, having that few laps on it. So, that was actually a pretty smart call by Kinder. He was in the lead, and him and Charles Stevens had that contact, and he pitted and he went ahead and got his freshie. So I think he'll be all right.
And you don't need stage points if you win the race.
There you go. That's one way to look at it.
Stage points don't mean a hill of beans if you win and lock yourself in the next round. So Garrett Kinder doing a little bit different strategy. I'm starting to like the call more and more. Maybe you've convinced me. I kind of like the way that they have the track position now. They don't have to drive up through the field, and if this thing goes, all the way to a fuel run or something, that track position will definitely be worth it. So, I think you've won me over on this strategy. I think it's a good call, especially for like Aaron Adcock, who started, towards the back of the top 10. Now finds himself up in second. James Kunkel as well. He's up 7 spots from where he started. So, not a bad little strategy call. Let's get Charles Stevens in here and talk to him, see what he thinks about that stage win. Charles, this is Eddie and Dakota in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, you crossed the line first on 50. I know it gave it once the caution flew to Bedwell, but I'm going to say you were the stage 1 winner, and you were really aggressive there early, really putting your truck in some tough spots, but you got the lead, and you're up there battling for it. And so you're not going to take this truck with you. Might as well lay it all on the line to try to get locked into the top 8. Now, though, with the way this pit strategy worked, you find yourself in the 7th position. What's your strategy moving forward here?
I just wanted to get that stage. So I did push it a little hard there, and like I said, I got into the wall a little bit and got into Kinder, and man, I hate it for that since he's on my affiliate team. But like I said, I just tried to push it hard to get that stage, and if I did get the stage, that's my first stage win of this season. So I'm going to hopefully take that and move forward.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go. Get ready for this restart. Good luck to you, man.
All right, thanks, man.
Well, there you have it, Charles Stevens, your stage 1 winner. As we get ready to go back green, Garrett Kinder going to choose the top, and we will get going green here on lap 55 of 200. Boy, it is clicking away quickly as Garrett Kinder is going to take off. Green flag is out. Aaron Adcock kind of sleeping on that restart as Kunkel gets a great jump and going to get to the outside of him, and now Aaron Adcock kind of stuck on the bottom for the moment. Oh, no, he's going to go around. Oh, Eric Adcock slides, doesn't hit a thing. What a great job by him, but excuse me, running in 3rd place, just fighting hard, and he goes around. Oh, as a playoff driver, you do not like to see that. That hurts. Go back and check it on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See there down on the bottom, you can see he was already kind of loose. He's going to go down in the corner, and that truck just goes around. I want to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch for their Wreckage Rewind. So that pit strategy was a good thing. But now it's all thrown out the window there for Aaron Adcock, because now he is all the way at the back. It's just, man, that's racing right there. That's just, it giveth and takes away there, Dakota.
Yeah, for sure. I think he just got on the throttle a little too hard there on the bottom, and on cold tires, that's the recipe for going around real quick. As you see, that's exactly what happened.
Maybe a little bit of brake bias he had dialed into that thing to try to help it turn on entry, and on those tires a little bit cooler. Just goes down in there and 4-wheel slides it. It's just what happens sometimes. Good looking Denver Mattress 17 though. I like that. Back up front, Garrett Kinder holds on to that top spot. James Kunkel there on the outside of the 17 as he goes around, able to get that 2nd position. So James Kunkel, not a playoff driver, but has been fast and shown sort of like, brief flashes of speed. Just maybe hasn't gotten the finishes that he wishes this season. Of course, I'm always a big fan of anybody with a Valvoline scheme, and he runs one pretty much every week. So currently your biggest mover of the race. You see they started 11th, currently in second place.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Kunkel. He'll end up with the lead here because he'll probably have the top side. So we'll be looking for that Valvoline 48 up here at the front.
Yes, sir. But I love playoff time. I love, the first round of the playoff is usually, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing here because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. But most of the time, the first round of the playoff is going to encapsulate some guys that have been kind of running, the back half of the top 10 or something like that, not really in contention of winning races. And but once you get down into the 8, the round of 8 just seems to have a different feel to it, a different intensity. Guys, some good drivers that are out, like James Kunkel and Chris McLean up there battling. And then you just got a different feel of each race, just a lot more intensity, a lot more excitement, a lot more desperation. We said Charles Stevens about Rick's truck trying to hang on for a stage win. So we'd love to see that as Garrett Kinder going to start on the inside and is going to get a great jump on that restart and bring Chris McLean along with him. Kunkel not getting the greatest of restarts, struggling to get up through the gears, almost gets taken 3 wide. Looks like that 53 and Tracy Passons thought about it for a second and then wisely backed out. Oh, my goodness, he's going to make contact with Bedwell as he tries to slide through, and Matt Rogers going to get a hit, and we're under caution again. Oh, my goodness. 2 playoff drivers making contact, and that was just an aggressive move by the 53 to try to clear and get down to the inside, but he was not cleared just yet. We'll go back and check that, and we'll watch from Tracy Passon's point of view on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. And you're going to see the massive run that the 53 here gets on Bedwell, and he's going to see the opportunity as the 95 gets a little bit loose. And, just unfortunate. We'll watch it one more time and actually slow it down for you. It's off the corner. You can see the 95 getting a little bit loose, trying to make that work. The 53 sees an opportunity maybe to try to get to the inside of the 48 and just wasn't clear of the 95. And Bedwell goes down to the inside wall, and pretty big hit there. We've seen a lot of wrecks that really hasn't caused that much damage, but that is a pretty nice lick to the left front there right at the end. Heaven forbid you can't just have the left front with damage. You got to get the right front as well. So Bedwell currently on pit road as the camera pointing the wrong way. And I can't tell if he towed or if he's trying to get the damage fixed. Still has a fast repair, but has been on pit road for about 30 seconds. So I don't know if he's trying to get it fixed or what. But he has been on pit road for a long time and actually is a lap down at this point. So tough night already for your playoff leader. And that, we were just talking about that, Dakota, the intensity of the playoffs. You mentioned it earlier. I was just talking about it, and then we watched it happen where, Tracy Passons probably wouldn't make that move in the regular season, but just saw the opportunity to clear the 95 and jump down to the inside of Kunkel and just tried to thread the needle, just wasn't clear. But, those are the type of moves we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually think Chris Bedwell is actually disconnected from the server, so his night's ultimately going to be done.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a tough deal for your championship leader. You hate to see that. He still had a fast repair, so I'm not really sure why he elected not to use it unless he goes down to pit road and thinking about trying to save that fast repair, and then it had like 8-9 minutes of required, and that pretty much ends your race. So definitely a bummer there for your championship leader, but going to go green here. Garrett Kinder going to lead us down to the green flag again, going to get a nice jump. Kunkel going to hold on to that second spot for now as 5 going to caution is out again. Oh, Tracy Passons. My goodness, what's going on? Tracy Passons going around.
That's the old saying, of cautions breed cautions right there. You know, you get all these guys bunched up, you know, they're hungry to get to the front. You know, that's the byproduct of it, but hopefully we can get back to our green flag ways here shortly.
Yeah, let's take a look at yet another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind on board with the 53 again. We'll see what happened here. Oh, the 5 is going to miss a shift, it looks like. Didn't even see that as we were kind of zoomed in. The 5 misses the shift on the restart, and you see right there, boom, boom, like a ping pong ball, and just comes back up on the track. Actually loses his front bumper. Oh, my goodness. So yet another issue for a championship contender. Now, he does have that faster pair. So he can go down and get that damage fixed if he wants to. I don't see him coming down pit road. He may not realize his bumper's gone, but you know, I think as long as your spoiler is in, you know, decent shape and it's not knocked up out of the way, you know, I think in real life, if you lose your bumper, like the rear bumper, I think that might help you there, Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, this is Bristol. I mean, you just grab a saw saw, go ahead and cut all the rest of the body panels off of it. You don't need no stinking body.
Yeah, knock a little bit of that underside off, and like I said, might be a little bit faster. So he's got, excuse me, not going to come back down pit road, but he is in the 11th position. Going to have a long way to go to get back up front. And I'm sorry about the coughing on the mic. Trying to catch myself. Had COVID last week, so still recovering from that. So if I just randomly cough into the mic, I didn't know it was coming. So. But what I'm sick of is these dang cautions. We're already a few in at this point, and as we look at the race recap, we got 6 cautions, 6 lead changes. We want to get those lead changes number up and want to get that caution number down. So 6 cautions already. We're not even halfway, so this could end up being a long race, but at some point we'll run out of trucks and run out of fast repair. We'll take a look at the weather. You can see the track really cool, 84 degrees. That is a fun track temp to race at. Charles Stevens back up into the top 5. He is in the 4th position as we get ready to go green. Looks like Garrett Kinder going to take the bottom here on this restart. But big movers. Aaron Adcock in the 8th position. Alan Smith. We haven't talked about him. He is up 8 spots. Been able to dodge all the incidents. So watch out for that 3 truck. Not a playoff driver, but still trophy hunting.
Yeah, and if there's one thing synonymous with Bristol, that's a number 3.
Ain't that the truth? Maybe we'll see a little bit of rattling cages towards the end of this thing. Pretty good restart all around. The battle now for second place as these guys have been really racing hard. You see how little room they're giving each other as McLean trying to make that bottom work. If he can clear that 48, he'll be in good shape, but the 48 fighting hard on the outside, and the 5's actually going to come up the track, and it works. Gets Kunkel to let off a little bit. Now Kunkel will go down to the inside and try to take that spot back, but I think that top is going to be a little bit too strong at the moment. You see the 5 just really gas it up in the middle of the corner and able to hold on to that spot. Just so much fun this track is. We go on board with Aaron Adcock here as he's trying to work his way back up to the front. Currently on the outside of Alan Smith. He has been on the move, moved up 2 spots already since this restart. He's looking to run down his Alliance teammate there, Alan Nash. He's going to almost get there. Alan Nash going to cut him a break and actually give him that top side. So that will allow him to keep that momentum. He doesn't have to lift. That 17's not playing around. Oh, and he's going to get into the wall. Broadcaster curse. Sorry about that. Going to lose a little bit of momentum, but gets back going. Hopefully that truck is not too tore up. Go back up front. It is still Garrett Kinder, and then a battle for second. Garrett Kinder has looked the strongest. He's been able to even get turned by Charles Stevens Jr. Still got a extremely clean truck. Didn't get much damage out of that, and it seemed like he is the man to beat here tonight.
Oh, looks like Kunkel's loose.
Oh, Kunkel is going to go around. Caution comes out. But another caution where, oh my goodness, it looks like Ray Rogers is down on the inside, a little extracurricular there. But another spin where not a whole bunch of contact was made. These guys are doing a good job of not just piling in there. We'll go check out the replay here, and we'll look on board with Ray Rogers. We saw Kunkel get loose right there. Little contact with Charles Stevens. He's trying to check up. We'll see what happened to Ray Rogers here. As he clears the wreck, and oh man, just gets turned. I can't see who that was. I think it's Mike Presley in that 44 truck as the 51 of Ray Rogers slowing down for the wreck and just gets pile drive. A little ARCA break there at the end. Checking up. Yeah, Mike Presley just kind of asleep at the wheel there for a second. Obviously had somebody on his bumper too, so he probably didn't want to slam on the brakes, get run over either. So, obviously did not do that on purpose, but going forward with Mike Presley here. See, he's trying to slow up. Oh, he gets run in from behind. And that's why we watch the replay, Dakota. He's trying to slow up, and yeah, he does. He gets slowed up, and Tracy Passes is the one that kind of comes flying in there. So my apologies to Mike Presley, is that was not his fault at all.
Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest things to kind of do on iRacing. It's get slowed down for the wrecks. You got to be watching out your windshield, but you also got to be looking in your rear view, because you start getting slowed down, and the guy behind you might not, and then that's going to pile you into the wreck.
Yeah, and iRacing's sort of weird anyway, where it just the cars always want to slide. The tire model is a little weird, and so it's so easy to lock those fronts up when you're trying to slow down for a wreck, and the truck gets all sideways and stuff under braking. So you're absolutely right. All right, pace car is off. Gonna go green. Garrett Kinder with the lead still. Chris McLean in second. The battle now is going to be for third place is boss man Aaron Adcock on the outside. He's going to get to the outside of that 88 machine, who's proven to be very tough to pass. But I think the 17 has that preferred groove. We'll see if he can get past that 88, and he does. So Aaron Adcock back up into the top three. Looking really, really strong for that 17 machine. Almost playing a little, almost blockers here. As Chris McLean, Aaron Adcock not in the playoffs. But right now, if the race were to end, Garrett Kinder would have, two spots over Charles Stevens that just give him extra points. So, if Garrett can kind of hold these guys up and Charles Stevens can't seem to get back by him, that's good point stay for Garrett Kinder that'll help him move on into the next round, even if he doesn't get the win.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to go ahead and lock my way into the final round because next week's Talladega, and that's if there's one thing I don't want to do, and that's worrying about finishing a super speedway race because those things are just so unpredictable.
Yeah. Are you a big fan of super speedway racing?
I mean, it's fun, but it is nerve wracking. You just never know when the wrecks are coming or how bad they're going to be, and maybe if the admins are nice, they'll probably get about 4 or 5 factory repairs next week.
Yeah, super speedway is just one of those weird things where I want to like it, but you put your race in 10 other guys' hands at least, and you're you need help to get to the front. You need somebody to work with you. You need somebody to pit with you. There's just so many things that can go wrong. If you hang out in the back, you lose the draft. You hang out in the back, you still get caught up in the wreck. You hang out at the front, you get wrecked up at the front. It's just you're not safe anywhere at a super speedway unless you're, not even sometimes in the stands are you safe. So, I'm like you, man. I want to get that win tonight if I'm in the playoffs and not have to worry about Talladega. I just drive around, drive a lap and go down and just call it a night.
Yeah, for sure. I'll give it to the admin team here for making the schedule. You get down to the round of 8. You got the toughest drivers, and you want the toughest tracks to really see who deserves to be in that final 4 going into the last race.
No doubt. But watching these top 3, I know there's battles going on all over the track. We'll actually go look. Had a battle between Chuck Phelps and Mike Presley. This is a battle for the 9th position. Mike Presley fighting hard on the top side, but Chuck trying to make that bottom work in that 75 machine. It looks like Mike's going to have the run here off the corner if he can hold on to it. Nice run down the straightaway, and Chuck going to have to concede this position, at least for time being. So we got playoff drivers back here. Daniel Holcroft, we haven't really talked about him so far tonight, but able to get into the playoffs and kind of been running outside the top 10 for most of the night. Just taking his time, being easy, but, at some point, we're going to have to go, aren't we, Dakota? They're going to stop wrecking at some point. Got to be moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. My magic number in these longer races, I think, at Bristol, I think my magic number is, at least 50 to go. You want to start being in position to work your way up. And, when you get down to 25, 15 laps to go, that's when it's, you're really just, I got to go here.
Yeah. Team discussing with his teammates. His corner goes down to the inside. He's going to drop another spot. So, Bedwell being out, that's going to help a lot of drivers because Bedwell had a nice lead. He's losing even more spots. So, Daniel just struggling here. Don't know if he's got some damage that we don't know about or it's just him and Bristol just not working out. But currently, he is about 4/10 off the pace of everybody else. So, there's still plenty of time. We're just over halfway now. Daniel Holcroft got some work to do as a playoff driver. Up front, still watching this battle for second place. Aaron Adcock did the back bumper of Chris McLean. And right now, Garrett Kinder starting to find that groove that we've been talking about. Nobody's been able to get out front and sort of pull away, but right now Garrett Kinder about a 10th faster than anybody else on the track, so he is finding that little extra gear. We kind of feel like at this point, Dakota, I don't know about you, but feel like maybe we're in for a nice little green flag run here, and to see that 13 start to pull away ever so slightly, it's got to be tough to watch for the rest of the competitors.
Yeah, for sure. McLean's loving it though, seeing Adcock and actually, I got the Kinders loving that, seeing McLean and Adcock fight there. It's only allowing him to put more of a gap in between him and them two. So, as long as they keep running side by side and, you know, really trying to rough each other up, it's only going to work out in his favor.
Yep. Well, let's go through the field a little bit and make sure that we talk about everybody. I used to be pretty dang good at that. I've been kind of letting that go. So we're going to go through the field right now as Garrett Kinder with the lead started on the pole. So he is having a great run. Had to come up through the field one time, but is having a great run. We already saw McLean get into the wall, got some damage, missed the shift on the start. So he's just to be running second, pretty magical. As he's going to get into the wall again. And then right behind him, boss man Aaron Adcock started in the 7th position, got up to the front, spun out, and drove his way back up to the front again. So a pretty good run for him. As both these drivers just racing for trophies at the moment. The second playoff driver, Charles Stevens, we saw him go up there and get that stage and get those important stage points. Right now, currently running in 4th place. He's got Alan Nash right behind him, another playoff driver who we really haven't talked too much about tonight. But having a good run, keeping their nose clean, and, you know, with just about 85 laps to go, these guys are in really good positions to get some good finishes and get a good points barrier between them and the guys around them. James Kunkel and Dana Shepard. Dana Shepard, another playoff driver. He is having a great run. Running in 7th, trying to get around Kunkel, or I think Kunkel's getting around him. We saw James go around, and he has worked himself back up into the 6th position. And Dana Shepard. Tracy Passons with that damage, still working his way towards the front. Just a playoff driver with some trouble, but, you know, these championship, the championship, these, you know, most of your championship runs are going to have some sort of setback, something you got to overcome. And Tracy showing good poise and racecraft to be able to get back up towards the front and salvage this race after in contact with Bedwell, but then also some contact with himself. So behind him, Ray Rogers in the 9th position. Saw him get spun out a little bit earlier, but he's having a good run. Not really Ray Rogers-like, running back in 9th, but we know that whenever it comes down to the pay window, Ray Rogers will be up there for sure. Chuck Phelps started 13th. He's up to 10th, running in the top 10. See him been battling for that top 10 position all night long. Then right behind him, Alan Smith in that Trigger Time Chevrolet. He has gained 3 spots as well. Just trying to keep that 3 truck pointing the right direction. Was up there running in the top, close to the top 5, but kind of fell back. But having a good run. Matt Rogers, we've already seen him in a couple incidents and already had to use his fast repair. The only guy so far to go to that's used the fast repair is the 96 machine. And then you can see Garrett Kinder right behind him, about to put him a lap down. That 13 machine is rolling, still running 15-second lap times. Everybody else in the 16.3s, except for Ray Rogers, who's also be able to match the leader's time. But Matt Rogers in the 12th position, goes a lap down. Daniel Holcroft, just a tough night so far. Now a lap down along with Mike Presley. And then Chris Bedwell out of the race. But we'll go back to this battle as we kind of wanted to go through the field, see where everybody's at. The battle for 3rd place. Aaron Adcock got up there towards the front, but has started to fade as he's now back into the 6th position. Obviously really put a hurting on those tires trying to get himself to the front. Now starting to fall back a little bit. We've seen tire wear be a pretty major issue tonight, Dakota.
Yeah, for sure. And looking right now, you know, you could throw a blanket on 2nd through 6th place. So this is starting to get pretty spicy here. So, and you've got a mix of playoff drivers and non-playoff drivers. So it's going to be interesting to see if the playoff driver, the non-playoff drivers are going to kind of, as we see Adcock get in the back of Nash there.
Man, what a save by the 27 as he was gone. I thought for sure he was around, did a great job of saving that thing. As Charles Stevens gets a run on the 5, and now he's going to jump up into the 3rd position. Just drives right by him on the outside. The 5 going to lose another spot. As he's pitting, he must be coming down pit road. Here comes Chris McLean, going to be the first one to come down pit road. Does he get down to pit road's feet? I don't know. Yeah, it was close. I think he's going to get hit for speed. We'll see. But first taker on pit road, so it should be the final stop for that 5 machine. Garrett Kinder now with a, you ain't going to believe this, Dakota, a 5.7 second lead over second place James Kunkel. That's incredible.
Yeah, he definitely took advantage of everybody battling back there behind him. He's legged it out to a pretty good lead there.
And he ain't playing around. I mean, all these other guys, like you said, are all on top of each other. James Kunkel actually starting to pull away from that group. As you see, oh, good Lord, you see the Chris McLean in that 5 truck coming through with those new tires. And he is scooting right now. But James Kunkel able to drive himself up to the front and takes over that 2nd position and starting to separate himself as we go back and watch this battle from 3rd on back to 5th. Feel like a little ADD with the cameras, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now. But we'll keep this battle right here, see if anybody else comes down pit road. Just talking about Ray Rogers. A little surprised to see him so far back, but here he is battling for 3rd place. I really shouldn't be surprised, but it does a little bit every week surprise me how good Ray Rogers is at saving tires. He just somehow has the patience. You know, a lot of people save tires. They'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna save tires and I'll drive right by them." And what they mean is, I'm gonna save tires for about 10 laps, and then I ain't gonna be able to stand it no more. And I'm gonna try to drive a little bit harder. But Ray Rogers is able to overcome that and just drive at his pace that he knows he needs to do, and it's just incredible at it.
Yeah, that's what makes Ray such a dynamic driver. You know, it don't matter where he starts. If he's up at the front, he's going to stay there, and if he's at the back, you know, he will bide his time. And like you said, he'll save his tires, and then, you know, just pass these boys like they're sitting still.
And that's exactly what's happening right here. I mean, he's just driving by. Those 2 trucks were lap trucks, but I mean, he's lapping faster than the leader at the moment. So, man, I'm telling you, it's just impressive. It's when somebody is that good is, oh my goodness, we got caution between 2 drivers. Alan Nash and Aaron Adcock make contact, it looked like. And that's going to really hurt their teammate, Chris McLean, who come down pit road trying a little bit of pit strategy. And that's going to trap him 2 laps down. We'll go back and check and see what happened here on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. And you'll see that Aaron Adcock right behind. Oh, Daniel Holcroft's going to get into the wall. Gets a little tight off the corner. And unfortunately, the 17 going to go around. He holds on to that 6th position, so actually not bad for Alan Nash, Aaron Adcock. that went okay. Is again, not that much damage. But for Chris McLean, that is the worst thing that could happen. As he was trying a little short pit there and was making up a ton of time. Was obviously going to come away with the lead if everything cycled around, but oh man, just such a bummer. All right, Dakota. Well, you got to talk to me about this pit strategy we got going on here. You got James Kunkel in the 48. Did not come down pit road. Charles Stevens is now coming down pit road. So I don't know if they missed the pit road opening or what's going on, but Charles Stevens now comes down on the 2nd lap. And then looks like Alan Nash as well also missed the pit road on the first time. But Kunkel staying out. What are we thinking about here?
I just Kunkel being that crazy Georgia boy, you know. I've said it before. If there's somebody crazy enough to want to try something and try to, you know, steal the win, it's going to be Kunkel.
Well, you know, we can sit here and speculate, or we can just talk to the man. So let's bring him up into the booth. James Kunkel, this Eddie, and Dakota Wilson in the booth. You got a copy? Well, we noticed you staying out here. You got 60 laps on this stint of tires. Talk us a little bit about this decision. What's the strategy call here? What you're trying to pull off with this strategy?
The strategy is not to die. I just straight up missed pit road. That's the truth.
Okay. Well, you're electing to stay out. Going to do your best. You're hoping for a quick caution. What's the plan here?
Yeah, just at this point, hope it goes about 20, 25 laps to get another caution. That's pretty much all we got now. So yeah.
Well, you've had a pretty damn good run. You kind of had some trouble. You went all the way to the back, drove all the way to the front. So you know you can do it. So even if you have to go back to the back, you know you can get back to the front. The 48 Valvoline truck seems to be pretty damn fast. So good luck, and hopefully we're talking to you in victory lane.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank y'all.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Dakota. I'm doing a terrible job tonight. I don't know what kind of questions I'm asking, but they're just awful. So I might need to let you do the question asking from here on out, because I've been asking some really dumb questions. Oh, man. You have good nights and bad nights, I guess, Dakota. I don't know.
Well, every night's a good night when you get to, you know, chill out and watch some of this hard-nosed racing that they got here.
Yeah, for sure. Green flag is out. We're gonna see how that 48's gonna do. I think it's gonna be a quick work with those older tires. You heard him miss pit road. He's gonna try to hold off and hope for a quick caution, but you can see just the difference in the tire difference between the new and the old 63 laps. Oh my goodness. Woo! Puckered up a little bit there, Dakota. The 53 going to get down to the inside. He's going to take over that second spot. Kunkel doing a good job. But you can see just the tire differences. McLean had some sort of issue, like he had a wreck and spun out. But no caution. Look on the VSRN picture-in-picture. See there, trying to make it 3 wide, just not enough room to make that happen. Get sideways into the inside wall, no caution. And he is now back 2 laps down. Chris just trying to make something happen there. So far, so good for the 13. He's starting to pull away, but Tracy Passon's trying to hunt him back down, with Ray Rogers not too far behind. Man, I got to say, based on that last run, if I'm Garrett Kinder, it's going to be tough, because Tracy Passon's going to be aggressive here early and try to get up there and race you, but you know Ray Rogers was really strong at the end of that tire run. And unless we get a caution, I'm going to have a hard time not betting against Ray Rogers, because he's done it so many times this season. And right now he's just biding his time. Like we said, sort of a broken record. But I just feel really good about his chances here on this long run if Garrett doesn't notice it and make the adjustments that he needs to make.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, you know, a broken record deal, you know, Ray's won, 4 out of the last 5. So it's not if, it's a matter of when Ray decides he wants to take the lead here. You know, yeah. I think it's Ray's world. We're all just living in it.
He's looking to the inside of Tracy Passons, who he has to cut off Dana Shepard trying to hold on to that position. But here comes Ray. Look at Dana Shepard in that 4th position. Looking to the inside. Oh my goodness. They almost make a little bit too much contact, as Dana really wanted that position. Whew. Now Ray Rogers takes sole control of that second position. He's got the lap truck, Chris McLean. He's got to carefully work himself around as Kunkel looks like he may have tagged the wall a little bit. So he's driving slowly for a second there. So 48 machine into the wall, really struggling on those old tires and really needs that caution. He's kind of holding out for that, but he's going to find himself in trouble. He's currently the last driver on the lead lap, and we saw how quickly Garrett Kinder got there last time. He's going to need that caution pretty soon. You see they're already on the his straightaway, so. Watch on board with Garrett Kinder. No lap traffic for at least half a lap, but what are you thinking if you're the 13? We've seen so many battles between him and Ray. You know, how do you combat that? What do? You don't want to push that truck too hard, but you don't want to save too much and allow him to get around you. I don't know, Dakota. What's the psychology in this? You know that Ray is really good on the long run. How do you in the 13 combat that and try to hold on to this lead?
Oh, I don't know. You know, Kinder being a playoff driver, and you know Ray, he's just trophy hunting. But if I was Kinder, you know, it don't matter if it's Ray Rogers. If that's my grandma behind me, I'm blocking wall to wall. I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep him behind me, to lock myself in, so I don't have to worry about next week.
Yeah, and with somebody like Ray Rogers, you feel like you can do that. You know, you can really, he's not the type to just dump you. And so as long as you're not being too aggressive with it and just trying to just block the lane, you kind of have that confidence that Ray's not going to just dump you. And so that can give Garrett a little bit more leeway in how he decides to defend. Where somebody else like a Tracy Passenger, another playoff driver, they might keep the bumper without even thinking about it. So you see they're coming up on James Kunkel now, going to end up putting him a lap down. Kunkel's going to try to hold off as long as he possibly can, and unfortunately going to lose a lap. So 8 drivers here on the lead lap as they cross over into lap 170. 30 laps to go here at Bristol, and the battle for the lead is brewing. Both these drivers running that bottom line. We've seen a lot of drivers up on the top, but I think this is it's a purposeful thing. I think both these drivers know that the bottom is where you want to be to take care of those tires. If you're the 13, you don't want to make a mistake and allow that 51 to get to the outside of you as they go underneath Mike Presley here. But if you're the 13 and Ray gets to your back bumper, it's just when do you move up? When do you move up into a defensive position and work that top side? Because once you do that, you start to kind of give away all that you've earned running the bottom there to try to save those tires. So right now, Garrett doing a great job of managing the gap. The lap traffic has been kind of good for him, bad for Ray, as Ray has lost a tenth or so almost every lap truck. So Garrett having a little bit easier time. Clicking off. Ray not quite able to close that gap. He's gotten to about 6/10, but hasn't really been able to gain that much more. Both these drivers have driven a fantastic race. I'd say if he doesn't get to the back of that 13 by 10 to go, I don't think he's going to be able to get around him. No,
that seems to be the common thing with Ray. I think whenever we get Ray in second place, I think we just need to start playing the Jaws theme because he's going to be chewing here. So and like you said, if we get down to 10, 15 to go and he's not there, I think Garrett ought to be able to go ahead and take us on the victory lane.
We actually see the gap starting to widen here. Now it's about 8 tenths, 9 tenths now. So Ray's actually had a really bad last couple of laps. Garrett Kinder is coming up on some lap traffic of Matt Rogers here. So Matt, kind of just lets him go like he always does. Matt, one of the more respectful drivers out there. Ray going to go down to the inside. The gap is almost a second now. So I think we have to give Garrett Kinder a lot of credit here. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. He's not making any mistakes. And, these playoff races, that's what you got to do. We've seen a lot of mistakes tonight. Bristol seems to pull that out of drivers. We've seen a lot of guys clobber the wall. We've seen guys, try to shoot for gaps that aren't there. Just a lot of mistakes. And so far, Garrett has, even though he got turned, that's not really his fault, but he's able to not really make any major mistakes so far.
Yeah, he's definitely checked all the boxes that you need to do to to advance in the playoffs. He's saved his tires. He's not put his truck in bad spots. Other than when him and Charles Stevens got together early on. But that's what you're looking for. You want to minimize your mistakes, especially at a place like Bristol. The slightest little tap, it can really derail your chances of winning.
Well, as the laps tick off, you see James Kunkel probably wish that he would have just went ahead and went down pit road, because and that's the way it goes. Gosh, iRacing would be so frustrating. Let's see how many cautions we've had. 8 cautions. And we just had so many cautions. Caution after caution after caution. And then the one time you miss pit road, go, oh, we've had so many cautions tonight. It'll be fine. I'll get me one. We go green to the end. And that's just the way iRacing goes. And for James, just the toughest thing that can happen is he's now 2 laps down in 11th.
I'm starting to think, pit road's probably about the biggest competitor that some of these guys got. I think it's been, the last 3 or 4 weeks that, at least one person has problems on pit road. There was a couple of races ago, there was a couple of people, missed their box completely. And then, last week, Chris McLean had a fueling problem on pit road. And then, tonight, Kunkel, he missed the entry there, and, it really just ruined his race.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Here the competition is so tight. Everybody in speed and stuff is so close. It's all a lot like real life, where you've got to be perfect. You can't make mistakes. Those mistakes, like a couple of the drivers made tonight, getting loose and clobbering the wall and pit road. I mean, all that kind of stuff is going to take you out of this thing. You can recover, but it's going to be tough. But I tell you what, we got a battle for the lead starting to happen as the 13 has gotten to the back of the 75, and Ray Rogers is there. He is right on the back bumper of the 13, as I'm sure the 13 is hollering at the 75 like, hey, man, just back out of it, let me have it. But Chuck is going to fight here. 13 going to, oh, my goodness, contact between Chuck and Ray. And we got a battle for the lead with just 5 laps to go. Just when we thought we made a mistake, Dakota.
Yeah, I think Ray heard talking about Jaws, and he's ready to eat right here.
He's going to go down to the inside, but that 13 is not going to make it easy. They got lap traffic out front. Where's that traffic going to go? That's going to be the biggest thing. Somebody's going to get picked here, and oh my goodness, it's not going to be pretty, because the 13 is not going to lift here as they're battling for the lead. Holcroft going to give way. What a great job by the 2 as we got a battle side by side. Got Dana Shepard in that 7th position, another playoff driver, but the 51 is doing a good job here on that inside. I think the 43 is going to end up. Oh, no, they make contact! Big contact on the backstretch. Garrett Kinder, 51. Alan Smith gets a little bit. 3 laps to go, and Ray Rogers is out of it. Big damage to the 13. Is it bad? I don't know. That left front looks pretty rough. Holy moly. I did not expect that at all. Well, I mean, we knew it was going to happen. I mean, you could feel it happening, feel it kind of brewing. I didn't expect it, but you can see how hard they were driving and having those lap trucks sort of around, sort of kind of throwing, almost not on purpose, but just they're in a lane and there's 2 cars side by side battling for the lead. You just knew something was going to happen like that. Go look at the replay here. We'll see they're side by side here, and you see Dana Shepard right in front, and the 13 knows he's got to hold on to this, and just comes down the track and right hooks the 51, just racing as hard as he possibly could. We'll go check on board with the 13. You see, trying to hang on to it right here. He's got Dana right in front of him. 51 drives really hard into the corner, and I think Garrett was just trying to keep his truck on that right rear quarter panel. Ray, they get a little tag, and Ray Rogers goes around. Well, 13, Garrett Kinder comes down, has to use his fast repair. Going to have to give up the lead. Now, interesting strategy. We're on our first of 2 green-white checkered attempts. Now, he'll be in the 6th position. He's got a fast repair, and he also has brand new set of tires, I believe. I think they still had an extra set, if I'm not wrong, which I am. Am I right or wrong, Dakota?
Yeah, I think you're totally right.
So he's going to have fresh tires. Daniel Holcroft looks like he came down along with Alan Smith. Holcroft is on the lead lap, so I think he got the lucky dog there. So Garrett Kinder's going to have 55 lap fresher tires, and we've already seen how big a difference those tires made when Chris McLean was coming up through the field there. Green, white, checkered, he may have enough time to get back up there. I'm not sure. It's going to be tough. I mean, he's got Tracy Passons, Charles Stevens, Alan Nash, Dana Shepard, all playoff drivers in front of him. They don't want him to win the race, so I can't imagine it's going to be too easy for him. But, I mean, 55 lap fresher tires here. Does he have enough time to coat?
He's gonna have to push it real hard here, but that was a huge sigh of relief for like Tracy and Charles and Allen. They've got a chance here to take this one home and lock themselves in and not have to worry about Talladega next week. So we might have to go to that second green white checkered if these boys really get to beating and banging.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit, especially with these fresh tires behind these guys. I mean, going down into turn 1, it's going to be pretty even. But as soon as we get to the middle of turn 1 into turn 2, that 13 truck is going to be rolling. And, I just don't know what kind of moves that 13 is prepared to make, but I'm here for it. Green flag is out. First of 2 possible green-white checkers. And here we go into turn number 1. Here's the 13. He's got the run already. Looking down to the inside of Alan Nash. Those fresh tires already moving. He's down to the inside, already up to second. He is already up to second, side by side with Charles Stevens. As he come down into 3 and 4, we're going to take the white flag. Does he have enough time? White flag is out for Tracy Passons. It is 3/10. He's there. He's come through the... Oh, my goodness. He's there. He's going to look down to the inside. Oh, my goodness. Almost got to it, but Tracy Passons able to hold on to it and get the win. Holy crap.
Yeah, I think if we'd had one more lap, I think Kinder was prepared to use that chrome horn.
I mean, unbelievable. We're going to go back and we got to watch that again. That was insane. And we're going to watch it from Garrett Kinder is inside. This is on the restart. You can see him go down to the inside. Those fresh tires just making a huge difference. Goes down and just almost it clears 3 trucks in one corner. He's going to be side by side here. White flag on this lap here. He's going to get a massive run. Just needed to be a little bit closer. This is the last attempt. Tracy passes knows he's got to come down to defend it. And Garrett all over the back bumper, just a little bit short. What a fantastic last lap. Oh, my God. But Tracy Passons comes home with the win, locks himself. I mean, he didn't have a bumper at one point. Locks himself into the next round. My goodness, what a finish. Whew. Well, I'm ready to talk to some of these drivers. I don't know about you, but
yeah,
that was wild. I cannot wait to see their takes on all this as we're going to get them up in the booth. And if you want to, I'll let you take Charles Stevens first.
that'll work. Hey, Charles, this is Dakota and Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Well, you had a strong truck there starting out. You know, you led some laps, and you know you and Kinder had a little bit of contact there early on, and you know you had a heck of a rebound there, and you ended up with a 3rd place finish out of it. So, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Got the stage and then a 3rd place finish, man. It definitely goes a long way in this league. So hopefully that should help me move me in the right direction. But yeah, I just want to say again, I apologize to Kinder for getting into him on that opening stage. But like I said, I had to be hungry there and get as much as I can out of it.
Yeah, it was definitely a very good points night for you. Like you said, you got the stage win, so those bonus points was crucial. And you know, coming away with a 3rd place finish, you know, it's heading into Talladega next week. What's your thought process? Do you try to go for the win, or do you just try to ride and maximize your points?
Oh, Dakota, I came into the season with the mindset I wanted to get the top 8, and man, I'm having fun doing this. So I'm just gonna go out and keep that mindset, and everything else will fall into place, and hopefully I'm there in the final 4.
Yeah, we'll definitely be pulling for you. You know, like I said, you had a strong truck tonight. You got anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank you and Eddie up in the booth for broadcasting this. Everyone over at Low Cash with Alan and everyone else, and then our affiliated team with Pomian Motorsports. We was pretty fast tonight. We had the field covered pretty good. And then my wife and family and son and everyone for allowing me to race.
Yeah, that was definitely a very good points night for you. I'll let you get back to your team and let you debrief and get ready for next week. Good luck, bud.
Awesome. Thanks, Dakota.
Well, there you have it. A good 3rd place finish for Charles Stevens. But, boy, I can't wait to talk to probably a disappointed Garrett Kinder. You never know what you're gonna get here. That it was a tough up and down race, a good recovery. But Garrett Kinder, this Eddie, Dakota in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boys.
Well, I know it's not the finish you were hoping for, and probably a little bit frustrated with the way that ended. But there on that last restart, had the fresh tires and was able to get all the way to the back bumper there, coming to the checkered flag. But talk a little bit about your race and that contact between you and Ray.
Yeah, the race as a whole, it went like Bristol does. Like a year or so ago, I think they changed the tire model. You used to just rip the wall the entire time here, and they changed it. And I was good ripping the wall. I won quite a few races whenever it was just a top dominant track. But they changed it up, run the bottom. So this is one of the first races where I've tried to stay committed to the bottom unless I was really trying to dig and get around somebody. A lot of tire saving that way, or even tire wear. And up top just kills your right front. But Ray. On that restart, it was 2 or 3 restarts back. I saw that he was sneaking up through the field, and he was on even tires with me, like 2 back. So I knew he was going to be a factor. So tried to get out in front a little bit. I think Kunkel stayed out on old tires. We got around him, had a couple car buffer, but Ray ended up getting by him, and he just slowly reeled me into about 7/10 while I was still trying to save tires, and I knew I couldn't afford to get him to my bumper. So I started pushing about 7 laps earlier than what I wanted to. Start pushing real hard, and man, ultimately that's what got him to me at the end. Right front was killed. Just I couldn't keep it turned down at the bottom. Couldn't get it to rotate. Couldn't get the good throttle off. So he was able to reel me in from a second to on my bumper within like 2 laps. So as far as contact, man, I talked to him a little bit. I feel awful about it. Ray and we've raced the wheels off of each other so many times, it's not even funny anymore. But man, I do feel bad about it. I don't know whose fault it is, and honestly, I don't care. I know he's not a playoff driver, but that doesn't even factor in whenever I'm racing with Ray. I need to be better and make sure it stays clean. Lap traffic might have played a factor, and it might not have. But man, just all around, it was fun. Anytime you got Ray sniffing at you, it's a fun time trying to play a little bit of cat and mouse and get away from him. But he was going to get around me, but all I could do anymore was just try and hang right rear, and hopefully he messed up, got a little loose on the bottom, but just never happened. Yeah, and at the end there, I knew I was on fresh, and for about the first half a lap, it's wrecking loose on the bottom, and I'd never restarted on the top except for one time, and it was when I was out front. So I had to dig a little bit. I got a really crappy restarter. I might be talking to you after right now. Might be getting the winner's talk here, but crappy restart, spun the tires, and just had to battle back and slice and dice a little bit.
Well, I mean, with the point situation, you come into the race in second in points. Bedwell gets taken out, so he's going to have a tough points night. Winning and locking yourself in is really nice, but you already had a pretty nice points buffer with those 6 extra points, and then a second place finish, and you led all the laps. I mean, do you regret it all? Not getting the stage points, going in and pitting when you did, or do you feel like that was the right call?
Man, I still end up getting 5 stage points or a stage point out of the deal, and then the bonus points for leading most laps, which I think if I would have come in and pit at the stage break, that I would have been battling a lot more up front. Those guys got mired back in traffic, so it might not come out exactly even in the wash, but no, I don't regret it. I flipped the stage going for the win, and just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, it was a great battle. I saw the lap traffic. I know that's always frustrating, especially when you're racing side by side with somebody. But yeah, I mean, just a good recovery. I mean, it's easy to kind of get in your head and let it kind of bring you down. And but you're able to come back, finish second place, man. You had a nice. I mean, that should give you the points lead, I would imagine. I mean, and you were dominant tonight. To not come away with the win, I know it's disappointing, but I mean, a good recovery, good points day, and it should set you up pretty nice for Talladega and Homestead. Which I feel like you have a good shot at winning both of those.
Yeah, this round of the playoffs, it really kind of plays to my favor. Hopefully, I'm gonna be moving this coming Saturday, so hopefully I can get everything set up and be back to race at Dega. If not, I'm going to be in a must-win, I think, at Homestead. So we'll kind of see how it goes. Yeah, but this round of the playoffs, it plays to some of my strengths. I don't like super speedway racing, but apparently I'm halfway decent at it. And Homestead is just a fun, man. It's just a fun track. If Ray shows up, he's gonna. I'll say it now. If Ray shows up and qualifies, he'll walk the field by 7 seconds. Ray is just really, really good at Homestead. I've tried to beat him there numerous times, and it just never freaking happens. But it'll be a good battle, good fun, and man, that's what I'm out here doing, just having a blast. Just being in the playoffs is just a plus, really. Going out here and still be able to compete, trying to get top spot for the season.
Heck yeah! Well, man, a great run tonight. It was a lot of fun to watch you, and until the very end, you were one of the guys that was able to keep it all clean and. So just an all around solid race. Congratulations. But man, as always, who you got to thank? Sponsor shout outs.
Yeah, I want to thank y'all up in the booth over at V Speed Racing Network, I believe what it's called. Kinder Farm and Ranch Ratchet Speed Shop. They texted me before the race, texted me during the race, texted me after the race. So shout out to both of them, real big supporters, and I love having it. It's a great feeling. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else. Make sure you check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing. Told you a million times, they're good guys to know. all my teammates over here at Pole Man, Tracy, and I told him, I was like, Tracy, if you wouldn't have been a teammate, I might have roughed you up a little bit trying to get the win. But he's trying to vie. He's got, he's vying for his playoff spots just like I am. And man, he didn't get tangled up. He played it right. So big shout out to Tracy for locking himself in the Final Four. He didn't get to go to Phoenix and have some fun. So big shout out to him, all my short tracking guys over at Velocity. Aaron keeping the lights on over here, along with Jimmy over at Apex. The name of this series, Apex Sim Racing Custom Racing Gear E-Series. So big shout out to Jimmy. Everybody that makes this league tick, anybody that sponsors you, the replays, the starting grids, the peg leg pole award, stuff like that. So it's just a good time over here. I look forward to it every Thursday, and I look forward to watching them back every Friday. So appreciate y'all.
Well, there you have it. Second place finisher Garrett Kinder just came up a little bit short there with those fresh tires, and had to give away to the winner, Tracy Passons, and I think Dakota is caught up with him now.
Tracy Passons, this Dakota and Eddie in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Going on, Dakota? Eddie?
Well, it looks like he was, looks like he's going to have to settle for a third place there, coming down to the end, and then Garrett and Ray got into it, and that kind of opened up a whole new playbook for you, and you ended up coming away with the win. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but Kinder was coming.
I saw him back there. He was on a rail. I hate that they didn't win because one of them had the best truck tonight. I shouldn't have won, but I got lucky and stole this one, and I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the last time you won, you ended up in Alaska, is what Eddie said.
I don't have no more money now to go nowhere.
I say now that you don't have to worry about Talladega next week, where you're going to end up. You probably end up in Aruba or somewhere sipping mimosas.
I'm going to be here if the good Lord willing the creek don't rise at Talladega. We had that trip planned for a year and enjoyed it, though.
There you go, but it was an up and down night for you. You was at the front, and then you had some misfortunes, had to go to the back, and to come out with a win, that's championship caliber stuff right there. Kind of what your thought process is going into the rest of this playoff run. Well,
I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. It's been working so far. Maybe it'll carry me on to the end, and may the best man win. But when that doggone spoiler got knocked off the back, or whatever got knocked off, that thing was a handful. I don't know if they changed anything or not, but she was loose the whole time out there. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to drive it.
Well, you certainly did a good job there, coming away with the win. Definitely the ultimate opportunist there, with Garrett and Ray getting into it, racing hard there. But
I'm glad he's my teammate. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have to worry about Talladega, so I'm sure that's a huge sigh of relief for you. And who do you need to thank for your performance tonight?
I need to thank Apex and y'all for broadcasting it, and everybody in the lead that shows up every weekend and runs good and runs clean, and just proud to be part of the lead, and my teammates, of course, and thank y'all so much. And you coming in helping Eddie broadcast, y'all do a good job, and just appreciate it and enjoy this every night when we do it and have fun at it.
Yeah, y'all definitely make it worth coming in and helping Eddie. I've had a blast here the last couple of weeks watching y'all do battle, and we'll definitely be watching here, throughout the rest of the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, good win, Tracy. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, your winner, Tracy Passons, with a pretty strong run and a little help there at the end. Between Ray and Garrett, able to come through there and sneak that win and help move himself into the playoffs. Want to thank Po Man for the post-race interviews, and we do have some awards to give out. We got the jammed up, the Trigger Time jammed up award to give out. Normally we give that out to somebody who had a tough night. I would say probably Chris Bedwell is going to be the points leader, who started on the front row and just a little bit of contact there, went down to the inside wall, and that ended his night after just about 80 laps. So your Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range Jammed Up Award is going to be Chris Bedwell, your points leader coming into this race. Obviously, it'll be a little behind now, but that'll I'm sure he'll find the determination, and he's got plenty of speed to get a win at pretty much any of those tracks. So that's your Jammed Up Award winner. We also have to give out the Hard Charger Award winner, the Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner. Well, if that don't go to Alan Smith himself, started in the 14th position and come home with that top 10 in 8th. Just a great run by him, and finished a lap down, but still a fantastic run. He was up 6 spots from where he started. So congratulations to Alan Smith for winning the Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner. But man, I tell you, I mean, Bristol always delivers, Dakota. It was a fun race. Some cautions early, ended it with a pretty long green flag run, then a wreck between leaders. Yeah, I mean, Bristol delivers every single time, and it definitely was the case tonight.
Yeah, for sure. They don't have all the banners around the greatest moments in Bristol history for no reason. I think you can add tonight, put that up on the virtual banner list. This was probably one of the most entertaining Bristol races I've seen on iRacing, in a long time.
Yeah, well, just so much drama happening all the way through for these playoff drivers. Bristol can definitely change up some things. The next week at Talladega will definitely be see some changes happen, some change up happening. There could be some some guys coming from the back to win. Some guys, some dark horse lock themselves into the playoffs. A lot can happen next week. Tracy Passons locks himself into the Final Four, but a lot of those drivers, pretty much every one of them has a shot next week, and then at Homestead for sure. So, all right, well, that's going to do it for us. Always want to thank Apex SimRacing.com, Apex Sim Racing gear. Man, they got a lot of cool stuff. Go check them out, ApexSimRacing.com. Want to thank them for allowing this league to use their logo and use their name. And go check out stuff that Jimmy does over there. He does a great job. I mean, just high-quality products at a reasonable price. Really kind of help get your rig up to snuff and add some cool stuff to it. And as always, man, just if you want to walk in your front door like a boss, get you a switch or something and put it on your light switch, something. Go support Jimmy over there at Apex. But that's gonna be it for us, VSRN, man. Glad to have y'all. Definitely make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you're watching and you see that little subscribe button, click that. I'm not trying to make any money off this, but every time you do that, that helps get us in the algorithm a little bit more. It allows other people to see your league and to see other people's leagues, and have some cross promotion between the different series that we run here on VSRN. So if you can subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. That helps us out. Like I said, not making any money off any of this stuff on YouTube. So it's not about that, just about getting a little bit more exposure. And definitely go do the same for V-Speed, the main channel, and V-Speed 2. Definitely go subscribe to them. That way you don't miss any of the action that I may or may not call. But Bradley does a great job over on V-Speed, so might be worth going over there and having a little bit of fun and watching that. But yeah, I want to thank y'all for watching. We're going to have a busy schedule coming up. Apex coming down to the last few races. Tomorrow night we're going to be at the Champions Motorsports League for the Friday Night Truck Series with Alec Martinez. Definitely come out and check that out, man. Alec puts on does a great job in the booth. It's so much fun to call with him. So much energy. Come by and watch that about 9 p.m. Central Time. And then the Rebels will be kicking back up. So we'll be broadcasting on Monday nights. Won't be no VSRN. I'll be over at McConey doing that broadcast. On Tuesday, be broadcasting, come up in September, going to be broadcasting the Fastenal Xfinity Series Winter League or Winter Series on Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights going to be the Goat Locker Next Gen League. Thursday nights, Apex will be doing recruitment series. On Friday, we'll be going from the Champion Motorsports to the ARCA series in Original Rebels, and then Sunday, Rebels Truck Series. So we're going to be busy over at VSRN, so definitely come by, check us out, watch some races, maybe find a new home for you to race in. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it. I've gone long-winded enough. Throat's about give out. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time.